What is up, all my dorks, nerds, geeks, and gamers? It's your host, Ghost here, and I'm joined with...
Nike Y43.
And you are watching another episode of Dorks Den Movie Minute. Today we are taking a look at the brand new Marvel Disney Plus series, Falcon and Winter Soldier. We're looking at episode 1 and 2 today. Both not as much action-packed. Well, I take that back. Episode 1... Well, actually, we'll just go straight in. Episode 1 starts off with a Falcon action sequence. About a good 10, almost 12 minutes of action of him flying in the air, dodging helicopters, dodging missiles, kicking dudes through helicopters. Like this is very reminiscent of Captain America: The Winter Soldier opening scene for me, but it was much brighter and you could see more of what was going on. But the thing that also made it more reminiscent was the inclusion of was it George St. Pierre, wasn't that who played Batraka Leaper?
Yep, GSP.
Yes. Yep, he was back in this series playing the same character who was behind this little 10-minute action sequence. But yeah, great entrance. You want to take it from there? What happens?
Well, then after that, then they take it from Bucky's point of view, if I remember right.
Yes, I think so. I think it goes in therapy. He's talking to his therapist.
Yeah, I remember he's having, he's seeing basically everyone's death. That's all he sees.
Yeah. Oh, another important point here in this scene is he has a journal which has names in it of the people he gets revenge on, but he refuses to kill.
That wasn't so hard.
It's like it's a Batman thing kind of, where he's gonna get them in some way. Either they're gonna get arrested, they're gonna beat up, they're gonna get tied up, whatever. He's gonna get them, but he will not kill them. That's his promise to himself. So how that plays out in the series, we still have yet to come. But one of the names on the list is Baron Zemo.
Yep.
So we do have to see how he gets his penance later on in the series, because he hasn't shown up here yet. So after that,
I mean, and then a good staple is they even announced in there that he has to go to those therapy sessions to keep his pardon.
Yes,
so that's a big thing.
To jail. Yes.
So yeah, because it's a big thing.
Yes.
So let's then.
I believe we go to Falcon's point of view here, where he's meeting up with his sister.
Yeah, that's right.
And
talking about the boat. Yeah.
There's a boat, yes, that they want to sell. She wants to sell because she can't afford upkeep on it. It's getting old. It's getting rusty. Better sell it before it's worth nothing. You know what I mean, sort of thing. But they grew up in it with their father, and Falcon's like, no, we can save the boat. We'll find a way to get the money. They go to the bank. Because Falcon's like, hey, I'm an Avenger. I got you. Like, I can do this.
He totally believes that they're going to get the loan, I believe it is.
Yes.
Or whatever, to keep, the boat.
Yes, to keep the boat. That ended up not happening. They ended up denying the loan because he had no credit, because both of them were gone for 5 years because of the snap. The world still moved on once everyone disappeared, and then when they came back and
because Sam was obviously gone.
Yes.
For the 5 years, and his sister was trying to carry, while
the family forward and everything else.
She has her son, or
yes.
She has two sons. If I remember right. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot to take in, but Sam's trying to. He thinks everything's still. I guess you'd probably say pre-snap.
Yeah.
And the world's not, even though it's snapped back and everyone's back, the world's still, it's not the same. It won't ever be the same, so.
And that's one of the highlights of this series, is we do get to see more of the Marvel Universe as a whole after the snap. What's the implications on society, on the economics, on everything, how it affects this world. So it's cool to see a better look at that through this series.
Yeah, because in the episode 1 they showed the premiere of the Flag Smashers, which is an organization who actually wants it to go back to the way it was during the snap, during the blip. Because the world was one. The whole world was collective and coming together. And so they're on that side. So I'm not saying they're siding with Thanos, but, they were all for it, actually, the whole world. Now everyone came back and the borders went back up and all that. And people's families got cut off, and some medical treatments and all these sorts of things kind of played out. So yeah, I think it's really good. Like this series, what I've shown is like they've been adding very good depth to
to just
they're
the
ever.
minuscule details that they're understanding what makes them tick. And this goes back to even WandaVision with the Monica Rambeau scene when she came back from the snap. We got to see more of what happened during that moment of people coming back, and now we're getting to see the implications of after they're back and what's going to happen proceeding forward in this new society. So yes, Flag Smashers are in it. We get an introduction to them. They drop these masks off in this group of people in this crowd. Everyone starts grabbing these masks. There's this reporter there. I forgot who the reporter for. He was working for Sam, I believe, one of Sam's friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because after in that action scene in the very beginning, they were like friends and army friends or whatever. So this guy was reporting on it. They all put on masks. They all start running around like crazy. And then you notice these super soldiers come dropping through with these bags. And they're just like, was it the police that tried to get him and he just wrecked them?
Yeah, it was like they were showing this one. They were like, oh, this must be, well, at the time, they're like, this must be the leader of the Flag Smashers.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was the reporter that got beat up. Yeah, it was the reporter that got beat up.
But
sorry.
Like Sam was noticing, he was like, whoa, he's like, that dude's like strong. It's like, okay.
Yeah, because the reporter tries to stop the guy from getting away because he notices that he's trying to rob it or whatever. And the guy turns around and hits him in the chest and like beats him up a little bit or whatever, and bloodies him up. So
then we also end up seeing Sam, who gives up the shield and he goes to the Smithsonian, I think, that museum.
Yes.
And they have a big old ceremony. Well, not a big old, but they have a ceremony. Sam's there, talks about Cap. And
we also get a cameo from James Rhodes, which was unexpected. Once he showed up, I was like, okay, now I can see Armor Wars starting to develop itself with Don Cheadle. But cool connection for Sam and Don Cheadle to have, because they're both Army guys, and they would make a connection there, so that's cool. But sorry, Smithsonian, he decided to give up the shield, you were saying?
Oh yeah, no, I was just saying because he was having flashbacks and he was saying that, the old Steve Rock was asking, he goes, how's it feel? And he goes, like it's someone else's. And
straight out of
Sam just doesn't believe in himself.
Yes, he doesn't. It's true. But it's also because he understands how much it means to be called Captain America. That's the thing. Is the only character that understands that is Sam. Like Bucky does, but he already has too much blood on his hands. He can't. Yeah, he's already known for that.
Yeah, and Bucky, I mean, as you end up finding out, Bucky knows that. I mean, Steve chose you for a reason.
Yes. Yep.
And he goes, you need to believe in it. He goes, there's no one that was ever as pure as Steve.
Correct. Yep.
Let's not forget this man wielded Mjolnir.
And
Stormbreaker. So
he did. And he was the only person, man. At the end of Endgame, he had a broken shield, no one behind his back. He stood up, strapped that broken shield to his arm like he was going to beat all of them, and was ready to go forward and do what he can.
If I remember, he gets up that classic line because Thanos says something. He's like, I can do this all day.
Yeah. Yep. He was ready to go until he was dead. And that's Captain America.
Like I remember that scene of him standing on the one side, and then it shows Thanos and his army. I was like, I want that poster still like on here on my back wall, because that's like to me the most iconic one.
It is. It was an awesome scene. But I'm glad we're getting to know that like Falcon understood that, who Cap was and what he stood for. And so yeah, I think he'll understand eventually, and once the series gets to a conclusion. But
I mean, but like I said, so he gives it up in the Smithsonian because he doesn't believe in himself. Then he goes and he's having dinner or whatever with his sister, talking about the boat again, and Bucky's doing whatever or walking by or whatever. But they notice it on the TV that, no surprise, guess what? The U.S. government betrayed your trust and all that. And we got a new Captain America.
And the thing that makes that ending so bad, like not bad as in like a bad ending, but bad for Falcon and Winter Soldier as a character, is that the government said, they were like, we don't need a symbol. Like, we don't need somebody to be a symbol of hope.
Yeah.
As he gave him the shield, they're like, we don't need a superhero like named Captain America. Then they give it to another dude right
Yeah.
behind his back.
So, I mean, so that wraps up episode 1, and then we go into episode 2.
Yes, straight into episode 2.
And I actually don't remember how that one opened up.
I don't either. I believe it was a Bucky therapy scene again.
Or partners.
I think.
All I know is Bucky and Sam get together in the episode.
Yeah.
Because now because Sam's going after the Flag Smashers.
Yeah, I remember they get arrested because Bucky. No, that's later in the episode.
But and then I know we saw some good backstory on John Walker, the new U.S. agent.
Yes, we got to learn he was like a quarterback football guy before.
Yeah, he was always popular and all that, but then he's done some serious. He's worked spec ops and stuff, so
yes,
he's a highly trained.
Yes.
He's seen some serious,
Yeah, he's an expert in what he does. He's a good military hero.
Because I think in that episode, dude, they ended up showing like him testing or whatever, and you see him with the shield board.
Yeah,
he's just
throwing it around,
whipping it around.
He's good, dude.
Yeah, and he's not
kicks and like
he's not
punches.
superhuman, but he's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's good for what he's
and
doing.
It was funny because it was real to me. It had some throwbacks to the first Captain America, first Avenger, when they had Cap and he was up there doing the whole, carrying the banner, selling the, war bonds and stuff.
Yeah,
that's exactly how they plastered Walker up there too. They had him come out, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do all I can. I can't fulfill Steve Rogers' shoes."
That's how episode 2 started. Thank you for reminding me. It started with that marching band music, which was amazing, by the way. That intro, episode 2, was so hype, and then it just goes into it, and it zooms in, and you got the hype. Everyone's got the beats going, high-fiving.
I mean, because what they did so well on it is because after that, a lot of people, they hated it. They're like, no, this is but the thing is, it was good. But the thing is, it got the right reactions because people absolutely hated it. Because I don't know, people don't like fake. You have to be authentic, and we all know this Walker dude. No, this is not authentic. Even when they try to sell you with his tidbit stories, we're like, no.
Right. He's bland. To me, he's just a bland. He's he's the
all-American
hero.
Literally, all they did was they are trying to replaster Steve Rogers on you. That is it.
Yeah.
And he knows it. But the thing is he is a good guy deep down. But you're just But it's done in all the wrong reasons and all the wrong ways.
Yeah.
But it's done for the right reasons. But it's just all done just wrong.
Well, I think it's perfect for his character arc. I mean, eventually he's gonna be U.S. agent. That's his character. How he gets there, what team he ends up on, Thunderbolts. Fingers crossed. I'm really hoping he ends up on the Thunderbolts team. But yeah, I mean, he's gonna be U.S. agent. He's not going anywhere. I think he's gonna stick around in the MCU for a while now. So.
Yeah, because then they showed him fighting somebody or some action.
Yeah,
I remember he pulls out a gun and starts using a gun.
Episode 2 was that scene we introduced with him into the episode. Then we go to Sam receiving the video of the dude getting beat up by the Flag Smashers. And then Sam's like, okay, I'm going to look into this. And then Bucky calls Sam because of, I think, wasn't it his therapist that made him call, or I don't remember.
No, I remember when they met up in the hangar because Sam's on his way to get on the jet and go figure out the whole Flag Smashers.
Yes,
and Bucky's there.
On the same,
and
Bucky
the very first thing Sam was like, don't even patronize me or anything.
Yeah,
But instantly he's like, why'd you give up the shield? Those instantly, they're already clashing. It's already great.
Yeah, dude, the comedy was amazing in that.
They're taking shots at each other. Yes, because episode 2 had my favorite line of it when they were sitting there in the hangar, they're talking, and then Sam's like, the big three, and he's like, the big three, and he's like, aliens, and androids and
wizards.
superhumans. Yeah, wizards.
He's like, that's not real.
He's
That's
like
not a real
wizard.
thing.
Yeah. And he's like, Doctor Strange. He's like, he's a sorcerer. He's like, no. He's like, if you think about it, sorcerers are wizards, but without hats. And I was, this is amazing. And then Bucky hits him. He goes, whoa, we're gonna fight Gandalf. And he goes, what do you mean? Wait, how do you know about Gandalf? And he goes, I read the book. He goes, oh, you read? He goes, no, I read it in 1937. He's like, when it was written. And I was like, damn, that's amazing. Because Sam didn't have nothing. He was like, oh, okay, no, you got me. That's it. That's the end of that one.
The one that got me, dude, was when he was like, Bucky was sitting there on the bench on the plane, and Sam stands up, and Bucky's like, all right, well, what's the plan? And he doesn't say a word, and he's just like, really? You gonna do this? Like, and he just drops out of the plane, and Bucky's like,
yep, he's gonna do this.
Out of plane. Oh man, awesome! And then he just like has to use his arm to drop out. Good action scene for Bucky there. But yeah, we don't. And then after that, we get the fight scene on the. They meet up. They drop out. We get the fight scene on the semi.
Yeah.
With the Flag Smashers.
And the Flag Smashers are handing everyone their asses.
Which they
Falcon,
should.
Winter Soldier.
They're just beasting it, dude.
Johnny Walker, U.S. agent shows up, and his boy, Lamar.
Battlestar.
Everyone getting messed up.
Yep.
Bucky's getting thrown off and hanging off the side of the semi.
There are some good moments, such as when Captain America does come in. He gets a few good shield shots going in. He does get a good kick in. Falcon gets a few good back kicks in there.
I think this is when we first see him use the gun, if I remember right.
Yeah, but and then Cap loses the shield because Battlestar falls off the truck, just like Bucky fell off of the rocket or the spaceship or whatever in Captain America. Literally the exact same way, and he saved him the exact same way with the shield. So that was a cool little callback to the original Cap in that scene.
Yeah, because then if I remember, then he gets his ass kicked from the one chick.
Yeah, then he gets beat up after that, and then he falls back and hits the car behind him, and he's out of the fight. Both of those guys are done. Because then Bucky gets knocked off the side of the truck, and he's hanging at the very bottom, and Falcon's like, all right, I gotta save him. So
when I saw that, the first thing I was thinking, I thought of Gang Beasts when we played it. I was like, I think when we'd be on the semi map and we'd be hanging off the side, like that was the first thing I thought of. Like he's hanging off, and I was like, this is Gang Beasts.
Help me!
Yeah, but Sam in that one, dude, when he was Falcon, that was badass. When he dove through the semi and got him, I was like, oh,
he did,
Sam's a beast.
Yep. So him and Bucky go tumbling into this field, breaking Sam's wings, messing up his wings, so he can't use them for a little bit this episode. So they end up walking. After that, I believe they're just walking down the street. They're having their good chemistry again, back and forth. Oh man, I do not remember what happens after that.
Yeah, well, is this the first time they meet up with Peggy Carter's granddaughter?
I think so. I believe it is.
Isn't she the one that picks him up in the car?
Yes, and then this time, Winter Soldier's in the front seat and Sam's in the back seat, and Sam says, Can you move your seat up, man? And he's like, no.
Yeah, he goes, only thing he's like, you're not gonna move your seat up, are you? And he goes,
no, he's like,
no. And I was like, yeah.
Call back, straight back to Winter Soldier movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I believe they have no leads, and Peggy's like, I have no leads, you guys have no leads. And I believe this is the end of the episode.
Okay. What are you doing?
Because I don't remember.
No, because... Yeah, because Bucky says he has the lead, and that's when they go to meet Isaiah. Isn't it?
No. You're right. Isaiah does come before, because Bucky goes to Sam, and he's like, you have to meet this person.
Yeah. He goes, I remember, he goes, it's time for you to meet Isaiah.
Yes.
And it's actually...
But I think before that, Bucky gets arrested. Because he misses his probation or whatever. And they end up in the therapist's office, and we have
they're in that room in the police station.
Yep.
And she's like, you get close. And then they get super close. And is this good enough?
And they're going at each other. Amazing chemistry in that scene. And then she kind of realizes, like, okay, you guys go out and do your thing. Like, we'll monitor you.
You
but
end up seeing it because the one thing that I think that bugs Bucky the most on Sam's part when he gave it shit, but he's like Steve believed in you.
Yeah.
And then you show him, he goes, but why me? You know, because he's done so much. He's, you know, it wasn't his fault, but
yeah. True, but it's still connected to that legacy, you know.
And he's carrying that with him, you know.
Yeah, having nightmares every night and fighting it, and it's hard.
Because we end up seeing that
and we get more backstory of that in episode 3.
Well, I thought it was in episode 2. When kind of like he kills that one dude's son that he.
Yeah, that was episode 2. Yeah. He has a friend, an Oriental friend, who he hangs out with.
Yeah, and then like I said, it actually turns out to be the father of a son, the father of the son that he killed, and
yes, when he was the Winter Soldier. Yes, one of the people on the list of people he has wiped out, including Tony Stark.
Like I said, it was cool that they brought Isaiah in it, that they referenced him, because
yes,
technically he's kind of like the second super soldier, or well, third. I mean, because you got Red Skull, kind of. But then you have, you know, Steve Rogers.
He would be like the second Captain America style super soldier. Yeah. He existed in the MCU in between the times Cap was gone. And we just haven't seen his legacy yet.
But the big thing, I mean, Isaiah was cool, but the biggest thing was Isaiah's grandson who answers the door.
Yep.
And who is that? Or who's it going to be?
That is Patriot from the Young Avengers. The Young Avengers team, who is the African-American Captain America with the bald head and the red bandana he wears around his eyes. Amazing character. I've always loved Patriot from the Young Avengers. Out of all of them, Changeling was his name, and Patriot were my favorites. So and you know they're building for Young Avengers. We got Haley Steinfeld and Hawkeye series coming. We got Cassie Lang already in the Ant-Man series.
Yep.
We got the Wanda twins already presented in WandaVision. So they're coming. Like, it's all coming together. Just a matter of time when that Young Avengers movie happens. All right, back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. We meet Isaiah. They have the conversation with Bucky.
Well, I think we got through the whole meat of it. I think we're now to the end of it. The big thing.
Yes. Then we get to the very end, and they have no leads, and Bucky's like, "I got a lead. We got to talk to Zemo." And then it cuts to Zemo in prison, and he, throws his big smile on, and that's the end of the episode.
Yep.
So I think it's an awesome start to a great series. So I would say this is a highly recommended option.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people like. Well, for me personally, like I was like, it's gonna be good. But it's kind of blown me out. Like, it's been a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I was like, oh, okay, no, this is all right. Like, it's got me my full attention. Like, I'm looking forward to every Friday now. I'm like, yes, I'm ready to watch.
It's very exciting. I'm going to give this a straight. These 2 episodes, episode 1, I'm going to give a 8 out of 10. I mean, it had a great action scene at the beginning, but then after that, it kind of dragged. It was just kind of more political stuff and just environmental world-building stuff in episode 1.
A typical episode 1.
It's
giving you kind of fillers to what's going to happen through the series, doing some foreshadowing and stuff.
Yeah. And then episode 2, I'm going to give a 9 out of 10. It was a pretty good episode. We got a lot of cool stuff in it. A lot of connective tissue that started to really build the intrigue of the series of where it's going to go started to really kick in episode 2. And just seeing Zemo brought back these, like, Winter Soldier memories, and I was like, okay, I'm on board, Marvel. Let's go, episode 3 and 4. Ready to do it. But yeah, that's my scores, 8 and 9.
Yeah, mine would. Episode 1, yeah, I give it an 8. Episode 2, it'd be an 8, but like in a higher scale of an 8.
Alrighty. So, guys, that is our reviews on Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 1 and 2, and a little bit of our opinions on what happened and what we thought about the series so far. Stay tuned for episodes 3 and 4 coming very, very soon. I've been your host, Ghost, joined with
Nike Y43.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment down below. And until next time, adios, guys.
Peace.